So when we poured that salt, the pure water, into the salt water is us. As the divine grace is being poured into the saltiness, the salt water concentration starts to diminish. It comes down. And lo and behold, very soon, we find ourselves filled with just pure divineness within our own self. So when you are seeking a relationship with the divine, often what will happen is people will say that, oh, you're doing so much puja, yet bad things are happening to you. Or your mind will also taunt you and say, you're doing so much of all these things, yet you're not seeing the results and things like that. If you recall, we talked about positive displacement and negative displacement. If I have to move a television from this room to the next room, that's positive displacement. I'm moving a television. But if I have to move the darkness in this room, I cannot say I'm going to move darkness from this room and move it to the next room. All I have to do is bring the light, darkness escapes immediately. Negative displacement. Similarly, and I mentioned this, if you were to look around, if I have to look around to the most unholy person in this world, I'm looking at myself. No, I don't have to look anywhere else. So I cannot say, from today on I'm doing puja, I've got to be able to take my unholiness out of me and then put it away, and from today on I'm holy. And we all know to what extent our mind also plays games with us. So we don't have to even look any farther and say, who else is unholy in this world? Forget all about them. It is all about you. It is time to become selfish. It's all about you. And when slowly the divine grace starts to flow in, at that moment, automatically, the unholiness automatically starts to disappear. And it will take time. It will take months. So last month I shared one doha, if you will, or couplet. Sant samagam hari bhakti dou durlabh hoye, sut dhara aur sampatti papi ke bhi hoye. So two questions are often asked by people. One, the people who don't believe in the divine at all, and they say, you do all these things, yet I am happy, I got all the wealth in the world that I have all the happiness, so what use is your prayer? That's one kind of question that happens. The other kind of questioning happens from people who believe in the divine, and they say, I've been doing all this, yet at times I get it, at times I do not get it. So the key takeaway of this in the couplet is, even the people who have done the worst things in their lives, they are always endowed with sut, dhara and sampatti. Sampatti, wealth; dhara, generally wife, but then spouse; sut, progeny. These three things anybody is endowed with. The key reason why we pray is not for any of these three things. Initially, when we are praying, we are always asking for something. It is okay to have those kind of desires. Bhagavan, give me this, Bhagavan, give me that kind of a thing. But later on, when your mind questions that, it is time for that spiritual awakening to happen within yourself. Because sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't get it, sometimes you become angry at God. I did all these things for you, I put $1,008 in the hundi, and look, you didn't give me this, that kind of a thing. At that time, there is a spiritual awakening trigger that is happening within yourself, because you are now starting to question the science behind it. It is very scientific. It is not something which is blind belief. If I have to seek warmthness, I have to be near the fire. If I have to see beautiful sunrise and sunset, I have to be at that appointed time, at that appointed place, to be able to enjoy the beautifulness. Other than that, it doesn't matter. Sunrise is happening, the sun is being impartial to everybody, yet everybody is being benefited by the whole thing. But if you have to enjoy that beautiful moment of sunrise, you have to be awake at that moment and be able to participate in that. So when you do all the prayers and the Vishnu Sahasranam chanting that we did half an hour ago, It is where you are getting an opportunity to be with the divine. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. A few months ago, I had shared the story of a baby girl, since I see a few new participants. A baby girl asks for a red thing from her mother. The mother gladly gives it to her, and she eats it, she enjoys it. She asks for more, she gets it. A few days goes by and she sees another red thing, and this time the mother says, "No, I'm not going to give it to you." The child cries. So the first time when the child got it, it was a red cherry, sweet, very sweet. The second time when she looked at it and said, "I want that," it is a red chili. Sabut chili, goal jo hai, round in shape. So if you are on the path of the divine, please understand this. When you get it, you understand that this is a red cherry which is being given to you. The next time when you are asking for something, if you don't get it, and you happen to cry because that is your state of mind, but then immediately understand, remember this story that I am sharing. This is a real story that happened. This real story, we laughed at it, but it had a greater philosophical meaning for me. Please understand that it is a red chili which the divine does not want to give it to you. Please remember this story for the rest of your life. Red cherry and red chili. And we have been talking about the retrospection, introspection of our life. When you do retrospection of your own individual life, all the ups and downs that have happened, if a down did not happen, the up did not happen. If the up did not happen, the down did not happen. And you got to create enough data points within your own life to come to a conclusion that there is no up, there is no down. It is just your state of mind which has defined it as an up or a down based on the limited knowledge that you are having. So now, when you come to the temple, prayer will take on a very new meaning for yourself. You'll pray with great intensity. That prayer is happening because you are not expecting anything, because you are a child with the divine energy. The divine energy shall provide you with everything that's needed. Remember, when you were born, you were provided with milk without asking. Till you die, till we all die, we shall be provided with what we need, but not with what we want. So, having this knowledge, this awareness within ourselves, very simple. When you go and pray, even for that 1 minute that happens within the divine, be it in your home, be it over here, that prayer will be full of intense love. That love which shall be overwhelming you. The divine will just come and stay, will just come within you. Another thing, when you are on this path again, and say you're going in search of the divine, do not say that divine does not exist. Because then you're ruling out the possibility, you're closing the door shut to your internal self. You're ruling out the possibility of the divine even wanting to enter into you. You become impervious. On the other hand, you can say, so far I have not experienced the divine. It is okay to say that. I have not experienced the divine. But the moment you say, I do not believe, it's all gone. You become like a rock. Say that I have not experienced. So, when the experience happens, you are in real time ready to receive it. And once the experience happens, there's no need for proof. There's no need for me to prove it to you or anybody else. It's an experience. That's all it is. But be open to it at all times. The experience shall happen in many, many, many different ways altogether.